Kirk did a beautiful job explaining that. Let me show you how this would look in practice. Let's say we had that system with the conference affiliations that we had a year ago. Now, the rankings from the College Football Playoff Committee on the left side of your screen, this is pretty straightforward. Michigan, Washington, Texas, Alabama, the 4 highest-ranked conference champions. That's not controversial. That's numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4, with Florida State getting the 5th spot, number 5. But here's what you have to get ready for is starting to look at what it would have looked like in 2022, the previous year. Now, the College Football Playoff rankings on the left again, pretty easy at the start. Georgia SEC champion number 1, Michigan Big Ten champion number 2. But why are Clemson and Utah getting the byes? Because if you look at the rankings, TCU, Ohio State, Alabama, Tennessee, not conference champions. Therefore, they can't get the bye into the quarterfinal. Then you start seeing them after that. Clemson would have been the 3rd seed as the champions of the ACC, and with the Pac-12 still in existence, Utah would have been the 4th seed. Then you go back to the rankings and fill out the rest, and in this case, Tulane, which would have been ranked just outside of the top 12, would have gotten the final bid. We're showing you this because I want you to get ready. The rankings may not look like the seeding, so that's an important piece of terminology to think about. Rankings versus seeding.
Yeah, so if Notre Dame's 2 at the end,
they're 5.
They're 5.
Right. That's what Nick was talking about earlier. Notre Dame cannot receive a bye into the quarterfinals of the bracket. The highest they can be seeded is 5. Desmond, 12-team bracket. Who's in yours?
First of all, the tutorial you did, Kirk, was brilliant. I was on my phone. I had to pause it to take notes. It was brilliant. My 12 teams: Oregon, Georgia, Miami, Utah, Texas, Ole Miss, let's go Lane, Ohio State, Michigan, Oklahoma, Clemson, Notre Dame, and Liberty.
I like where your head's at there with your champions.
All right.
Who's a champion? You got Utah. You said you liked them earlier out of the Big 12. Fascinating.
Got to keep Cam healthy.
Yes.
He's a pig farmer, right? No. Is he the pig farmer?
No.
That was the pack on those last
Like
year.
a Bryson Barnes.
Guy who stepped in.
We had a great time out of Utah last year.
Sure
He was
did.
on the show with us.
Yeah, they were fantastic.
Beautiful, too.
Nick, who you got in your 12-team bracket?
Well, I've got Georgia, Ohio State, Florida State, Utah. Those are my 4 bye teams. Then Texas, Oregon, Alabama, and Ole Miss, the next 4. The 2 teams that haven't been talked about very much is Penn State and LSU. I think Penn State has got a really good team, a good culture. They would have been in the playoff with a 12-team playoff the last couple of years. I think LSU, I think Garrett Neschmeyer is going to be one of the all-time sleepers in college football this year at quarterback. LSU always has skill guys. They're talking about all the receivers they lost. You could shake a tree in Louisiana, and them guys will fall out. So I got Liberty getting in, and then, you're going to have some teams that are in that 12 spot like Missouri, Clemson, Tennessee. I mean, and it's going to be crazy.
How much do you love that, huh? Making the
That was
predictions.
fun.
Isn't that fun?
Wasn't that fun?
This is the ultimate hypothetical situation. And Matt Garrett and Jonathan Wiley, if you were in a press conference right now, you would be getting 8 out by me.
Yeah, absolutely. Big Red behind the scenes tells us, Nick, we need these answers.
He's our coordinating producer.
8 out. I'd be wearing them out.
Garrett just had a dream come true, though.
Yeah. I'm gonna start the 4 teams that I think are going to bye with the conference championship. I'm going to go with Georgia coming out of the SEC. I'm with you. Ohio State, Clemson. I have in the ACC. Utah coming out of the Big 12, and then after that, I got Oregon, Texas, Missouri, and Penn State. You mentioned Penn State. I have them all getting the byes. And there's the teams that are going to have to go to ride. Boise State is that group of 5 at 12. They'll be on the road. Michigan, I do have in the playoff. Florida State, I have in the playoff. Notre Dame, I have in the playoff at 9. And my 2 that are just on the outside, I got Ole Miss because I want to, like you guys said, if not win kind of thing. I want to see if this is the year they can get over the hump and beat some of those big teams. And Oklahoma State
My
also.
2 on the outside, I have Penn State and Alabama. I didn't mention those 2.
Oh,
Okay, all right. Well, thank you for the heads up there.
You totally disrespected Alabama, man. I can't believe that.
Well, you know what? Kirk did put Florida State in there, though.
I did.
Nick did not. So now they've left to head to the stadium already.
They got a game to go
But Kirk just tried to win them back over. They're gone.
I'm being honest.
So I have a little different
The hell?
for
I'm just saying who I
conference
think.
champions. I see the same picture you guys see. Georgia, I think, obviously. Ohio State with the Big Ten. West Virginia is going to win the Big 12. Virginia Tech, I think, wins the ACC. Now, they're at plus 1,000 right now, so that's quite a long shot if you want to go ahead and pull the trigger on a team with 20 starters returning. Boise State, I think they're the Power 5 group, or a group of 5 that's coming out. Ole Miss is dancing. Florida State, Michigan, Alabama, Oregon, Utah, and Texas rounded out. And then look out for Oklahoma State. And if Penn State can survive that week 1 matchup in Morgantown, there's a chance they get in there as well. But I think what we're all saying here is we have dreamt of this situation. Last year, when we were talking about what the 12-team playoff could look like in the middle of the season, we put it up and we were just like, that would be awesome. All of those different 12-team brackets right there would be awesome. The home field advantage, too, in that first round, so we really get to celebrate what college football is about. It's going to be a wonderful season.
I love what Coach keeps bringing up in all of our meetings, you know, whether it's been Zoom or even this week. You love the idea that instead of talking 4 and then maybe 5, 6, and 7, and everyone else, it's almost like you're 8th or 9th in the country. It's like it's irrelevant. Now it's going to open up September, October, into November. It's not just the 12. It's going to be 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, maybe into the 20s of thinking, man, if we can win that game and finish 9-3, we're still in this thing. We still got a shot. And in the past, that hope was gone. They had no chance of being in that discussion. That's exciting.
Yeah, if you lost one game, unless you lost early like we did to Texas last year, if you lost one game anywhere toward the back half of the season, you're out. Yeah. But I do think that that's going to create something for teams like Georgia that are going to have to bounce back if they have a loss and be able to, you know, go play, keep getting better, because that's how it is in the NFL. You know, in the NFL, if the owners could have their way, everybody would be 8-8 after 16 weeks, so that every fan base is still there week 17.
Yeah.
All right, so you're going to have more of that in college football now, which we've never had before, which is going to be fantastic.